Tonight, a former pastor of a Texas megachurch has surrendered to authorities in Oklahoma after being charged with 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. You're looking at the mugshot of 63-year-old Robert Morris. He was the high-profile pastor of the Gateway Church in Dallas and a member of Trump's Spiritual Advisory Committee during his first term. A lot of this came to light last year, and after that, a Trump campaign spokesperson told NBC News then-candidate Trump was not aware of the allegations. One of those allegations was from 55-year-old Cindy Clemenshire, who says she was sexually assaulted in 1982. That's when it started, when she says that she was just 12. And here's some of what she shared in an interview with our Antonia Hilton.
He said, "Hey, come in my room before you go to bed tonight. I want to talk to you." He started by touching my breast and putting his hands in my pants. He wanted me to stand and close my eyes so he could lift my shirt and pull my pants down and just look at me as a 12-year-old.
Do you remember what he would say to you, what he'd tell you?
Well, the very first time he told me, "You can't tell anyone because it will ruin everything."
And let's bring in NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton. Antonia, what else did she tell you?
Hey, Gotti. Look, I have known Cindy now for about 8 months and spoken to her when all this news initially broke over the summer and then right after he was indicted. She described it as this surreal, sort of shocking experience after 4 decades of fighting for justice, of waiting for some kind of recognition, to actually see that she may have her day in court. She was relieved, but also still clearly coming to terms with it. We also heard from Gateway Church. That is the mega church that Robert Morris founded, that he ran for so many years. They released a statement saying that they were grateful to the justice system, that they were praying for Cindy Clemenshire. But I should tell you that at this stage, and again, I've known her for a while now, she continues to believe that that church knew a lot more about what happened to her and Morris's actions than they have said through this entire process, Gotti.
And what's next for Morris in court?
Well, we know we're going to see him May 9th in a courtroom in Oklahoma, and that's when we may get to hear him speak, formally respond to his charges. We know that his attorney has indicated to reporters that they plan to plead not guilty. But I should note, 8 months ago, when these allegations first came to light, he acknowledged at the time that he had inappropriate relations with a young lady being his words, not mine. He didn't mention that she was 12 years old, but he made reference to that. And so it's going to be challenging if you are representing Robert Morris after he gave that admission, resigned from his church, to then go forward and plead not guilty. It'll be interesting to see how this case shakes out. I had the opportunity to speak with the Attorney General of Oklahoma as well, and he really used this sort of interesting legal technique. They have a sort of little-known statute there that allows them to go after someone despite the statute of limitations technically being up, because he was not a resident of the state. And it goes back to the statute back when Oklahoma was barely a state. They had raiders and marauders coming through. So if you're not a resident and you're in and out of the state, the clock actually never really stops running for them. And so that's how they're able to come after him in this case. And it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, Gotti.
Yeah, some creative prosecution there. Morris, meanwhile, he has been politically active, right? Like, is there any fallout from this politically?
Well, fallout for him, certainly. He has lost his massive church, one of the largest, most politically influential and powerful churches. And, you know, he at one point was part of kind of an inner circle with President Donald Trump. He was on a spiritual advisory council to the president years ago. And so he's no longer in that inner circle, certainly. But this story hasn't yet really affected certainly President Trump's career or many of the other people who formerly had relationships with them. People have kind of turned on him, but his church still is very much functioning. And there are these open questions in communities surrounding the church in the Dallas area of Texas about, well, okay, he's gone and a few others are gone, but what else did the leadership know? And at what point might they be held accountable? That's where this story in many places is going to continue, Gotti.
NBC's Antonia Hilton, thank you so much for your reporting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.